I think the thing that we always focus on is showing our kids that it's not easy, but it's possible. It's very possible to do the thing you love for your entire life, you know. And I did have a 9 to 5 when I came out of school, because when you come out of school, you're like, okay, your parents tell you gotta go get a job, you know.
Yep.
So,
fall into the system so quickly.
I had
It's
I had a few like 9 to 5 jobs, but they never ever lasted. Like, as you know, for as long as you try to stay there, there's just always something inside you that just telling you, no, you don't belong here.
Reminder, you did not come here to play someone else's game, to box yourself in, or to let fear guide your choices. You came here to experience joy and abundance and to love the shit out of your life. The Trajectory podcast is here to remind you of a few important truths. 1, you are the creator of your reality. 2, anything that you can dream or imagine, you can create. 3, following passion is the quickest way to align you with your true path. 4, your reality is always a reflection of your current thoughts and beliefs, and those thoughts and beliefs can be changed at any time. You are amazing, and it's time to own who you really are. Tune in weekly to be reminded that you can create the life that you're dreaming of and to learn exactly how to do it. Get inspired by those who have been bold enough to follow their passions and have created their dream life because of it. If you're ready to stop playing small, stop holding yourself back, and start aligning with your trajectory, let's do it. We have an amazing talent in the studio today, and I'm so glad to reconnect with this soul because holy shit, it's been a long time, and he feels like family. So we've got Mike Champion in the studio today,
Yes,
who
sir.
is an Australian-born South African singer-songwriter residing in Sydney. I'm sure you've heard of him. If you're in Sydney or Australia, he is killing it. His distinct sound lives at the intersection of R&B, new soul, Afro soul, and funk. And that so perfectly describes it. Oh my gosh, yes. His lyrics reflect his young boy, old soul storytelling approach to songwriting, while his unique, silky vocal tone and cross-genre sound prove that you can be eclectic and accessible, all while staying true to your own artistic vision, which is something I love about him as a performer. Champion is especially recognized for his performance ability. This multi-talented, independent, and fiercely creative visionary makes him one of the most intriguing, cross-genre, global, up-and-coming artists today. Oh my gosh, he's in the studio. Trajectory. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, sister. Thank you for that introduction, man. It's off
That's
the
all
charts. I think
good.
you better come. I think you better come to my live show so you can give me that introduction every time before I come on stage.
I would love to. I'll record one for
But
you. You just
yeah.
put it in their audio system.
Hell yeah, give it to the
Listen to
DJ.
this.
And
Yeah.
we'll put the DJ horns at the end of it and everything, you know? Yeah, that's it.
I love
But
that.
honestly, pleasure to be here, man. Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I'm
Honestly.
so grateful for your time. I know you are busy. You're busy with work. You've got a busy family. We've already chatted to Tiana in another episode, your beautiful wife, and you guys are just on fire constantly. Like all of you, your kids, your legacy,
thank
your
you.
whole family. It's amazing. Every time I look at a commercial, one of you are on it. It's like, hey, it's another champion.
Hey, we're just doing the thing, man. Doing the thing, you know? God, doing the thing God intended, you know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
And
that's
you're
the
all
mission.
just like such positive vibes. That's what I love about you and your family. And you obviously have passed that down to your kids in a beautiful way. You're all just radiating light. So I'm a big fan.
thank you.
Big fan of all that you guys are, really. But
Thank
we
you.
have, like, you do so many things, right? So we're going to dive into a few different areas today. But that bio doesn't do you justice because you're an absolute powerhouse of talent, creativity, and performance. So I know that every week would probably be quite different for you, but can you give us a little bit of a snapshot of what a normal week would look like for you at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. I think like for me, it's a lot of my days start with breath work and meditation, you know, and that's like an everyday thing. So, you know, it's something that myself and Tiana, and we try to pass it on to the kids though, even though, you know, with kids, it's a little bit harder to get them in that line and really like taking that seriously at the moment, you know, but we constantly do it, you know, for ourselves so that they can see that this is what we do and this is how we start our day and how we start our week, so that they can one day remember how we did that, and when they need it, they'll, you know, implement it into their own lives. So definitely starting the week, and my weeks always start with meditation, breath work, and then just figuring out, like at the moment I'm working on two projects. So at the moment I'm mixing and mastering an album, and because I'm trying to get this finished, that's taking up most of my time, is just being in the studio to mix, master, and finish the album. So that it's such a process that, you know, I have to get this stage of it done in order to move on to the next stage. So it's really just honing in on, like, hey, this is, in order for me to get to where I want to get to with this project and take the next steps and be where I want to be in the following week, I gotta finish off this week. And, you know, a lot of it at the moment is just, for me, is spent in the studio recording and writing and mixing and mastering and finishing this project. And yeah, I guess right now, like at this moment in time, that is my week. That's what takes up my weeks. And when I have shows, then it's getting into rehearsals with my band, you know, sometime fitting that in sometime during the week in order to be able to get on stage and perform as well when I do have shows. But yeah, it's, my weeks are really taken up by being in the studio at the moment.
It's the dream. I love it.
It is the dream.
Seriously. That's where I want to be. I want to be in the studio all the time. Are you doing your own mixing and mastering, or you got other engineers working with you?
Yeah, I am. I'm doing, like, this is probably the first project that I've, like, almost fully produced myself. Wow. And I'm doing the mixing and mastering on as well. So
huge
it's all in-house, man. It's when we talk independent, it's like fully independent, you know. Yeah. And the only way to I guess to do it fully independent is to, you know, treat it like someone else was doing it. You know, and that's what I try to do with it, is like treat it like I'm giving the work to somebody else. So I got to put on this hat, and, you know, I put on the hat of the songwriter and the singer and creating the music, but then I got to take that hat off and put on the mixer and master hat like I was giving it to someone else, because I know I'm capable of doing it. And the work, I guess it means so much to me that, you know, I want to take on the responsibility to put it on myself. If it doesn't last and I don't move on to that in the next project, I might give it to somebody else. But for this time around, I'm like, no, I want to give it a go. I want to mix and master this and see what result I get.
I love
and just
that.
It's a good way of upskilling myself as well, you know, because I can do it for others, and others have asked me to do it for them.
100%.
And at the moment, you know, I'm moving into that, being able to offer that service to others. But at the moment, I'm just focused on my own. Yeah.
Nice. I love that, though. Like, it's such a great example of you're following your passion, and because you love it so much, you want to put so much into it. So you're upskilling all the time, and that's going to expand your career in so many different ways. Like, that's so exciting. 100%. And I love that you can look at this album and go, I did all of that. Like that one specific album, everything from start to finish. Like, and I'm capable of doing that. That's huge.
I think it's more that too. It's actually knowing that, I can do it on my own if I need to, you know, and it's not like I'm trying to not work with anybody on it. It's just that I like to know the inside out of everything that's being done as well, so that if I do go into a session with someone else, or I do go into the space with someone else, I know exactly what they're doing, and if they're not producing what I'm hearing or what I want, I know exactly how to change it.
Yeah.
And fix it to get what we want, and it just makes the process work quicker and smoother, and, you know, it makes that collaboration process work really nicely.
100%.
You know? As long as the person you're working with is open. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
as long as the person, you know, the person that you're working with is open to collaboration, because sometimes, you know, you can butt heads with people, but then it comes down to finding the right people to work with, you know.
So that is such a good point. When it comes to artists in general, we're all very sensitive, aren't we? So it really 100%. It takes a while to find those relationships where you can be completely vulnerable and free, and also feel like you can have your say, but you need to be able to let them have their say as well. And that in itself is a skill, being able to pick the right people to work with. It looks like you've definitely found your crew though, right?
Oh yeah, man, I'm loving it. Like I'm just doing what God intended, what feels good to my soul, you know, and it's always been this, so why would I not do it, you know? Because if I didn't do it, and if I wasn't doing it, I'd feel empty somewhere.
So you know? That's just tapped onto my next question. Did you always know that you wanted to pursue music, or was there like a light bulb moment where you sort of were like dabbling, and then you went, you know what, from this moment I'm going all in?
I think I've always known through feeling, you know, like if I look back at like when I was a child, or like when I was younger, there was always like a soulful connection with music, always knowing the lyrics to songs, and people used to ask me like, how do you know the words to all these songs, you know? And I wasn't actually doing music or pursuing music. I mean, I did start when I was 8, but I kind of started off someone else seeing the talent in me, not seeing it in myself. You know, so it was someone else seeing the talent and then deciding, oh man, you should do this, you know. But I always had this, just a soulful kind of connection with music where I knew how to do it from a young age. And I guess that's what leads to other people seeing it naturally in you. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely, I know I've always had that feeling towards it, and I think that just set me on my path because nothing else gives me that feeling.
I love that.
So yeah.
That's so good. You're just following what lights you up. So
yeah,
what
100%,
kind of
man.
What kind of support did you have when you were sort of, you know, as you're growing up, you're sort of going, well, music's going to be my main focus. Was your family, were your friends all like, yes, all for it? Or did you have a lot of people going, oh, you can't make a career doing that? Like, and you had to sort of feel like you had to prove yourself? Like, what was the support system like?
No, I think my family was very supportive from the get-go. You know, when I started out, I started in a band. Like, my first experiences was when I was 8 years old, and, you know, playing live music with adults and being in a band and performing in over 18s clubs, like when I was 8 years old. And I was in overage clubs, and they used to bring me in and then keep me at the back. I used to fall asleep at the back. My dad used to wake me up like, you got to get on stage for 10 minutes, do my little cameo in the band, and then get out of the club, you know. So, and this was like on school nights as well. So that was, you know, that was my experience.
That's
kind of,
support. I love that.
Heading into the music industry. So my parents were, they were definitely open to the idea of it, you know, and they weren't closed to the idea of just like not allowing it to happen, you know. And they were open to seeing the natural talent, and they kind of could see it as well, even though they didn't know how to shape it, or they didn't know how to go about bringing it to the forefront.
Yeah.
But I think allowing was their way of bringing it to the forefront, was just allowing that natural, okay, someone sees something in me, let's just give it a go, you know. Let's just the opportunity is showing, so let's see what happens with the opportunity. And I think, you know, that's the support that they gave, you know.
Oh, that's amazing. And that would make all the difference.
100%, and we're still highly supported, you know. I had a gig on the weekend, my dad was there, and he always shows up at our gigs, and he's in his 70s now, but he's still at front and center with his camera filming. Still got the pride, you know. Yeah, he's the original young boy, you know.
Oh, I love that.
My whole thing is the young boy, but he's the original.
That is so good. I'm gonna get a photo of him. I want to put him on the screen right now. I can imagine him in some sort of suit, just like dancing out, like in front of everyone. Man.
He's got some outfits, you know. He's come a long way. I've stolen a lot of clothes out of his wardrobe for sure.
Oh, nice. Bit of a mogul.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go thrifting in my dad's wardrobe. Who doesn't, man? Come on.
That'd be wicked. Yeah, you'll find pieces that all of a sudden you start wearing from the 70s and they're all in fashion again now. It'd be
100%.
Everything's just secular. Yeah.
100%, man. Damn. And they're expensive pieces, you know. High quality, expensive pieces. And we get them for free.
Oh, I love that. So tell me a little bit about something that I love about you is your longevity. Like, so many artists get into this industry, right? And they sort of try it for a few years and then they go, oh, I'm going to try something else. But you've had this love, like it's like a love affair with music and with performing. And you've been on probably every stage I could imagine in Sydney, right? Like, where haven't we seen Mike Champion? Like, you have been killing it for so long. So what's your secret to staying on the path when you might have days where you start to waver a bit, or you start to think, do you ever have those days? Or are you like, what's your secret to longevity in the industry?
I definitely have those days, you know, where I'm like, damn, still doing this, you know? But, I mean, the longevity for me is just always connecting it back to my soul purpose, you know? And in life, like, that's where I want to live. That's where it makes me the happiest to be, is doing something that I feel is, like, serving my soul purpose, you know? And with music, you know, I have the ability to be a songwriter as well, so being able to speak and say the things that I want to say in the world through music when I'm not that great at actually speaking them, you know, but being able to articulate that better through music is also, you know, what aligns me with my sole purpose, because it gives me a voice to be able to say these things, you know, and really articulate them well, and also through song and with melody in a beautiful way, you know, and deliver it to people in a way that can be felt, you know. So yeah, man, I think that always reconnecting to that is what gives me the longevity in music, and it just keeps me wanting to come back and do it again and again and again, because I get that rush from it, you know. I get that rush from the process of creation, you know, of the message coming to you. From where did it come from? I don't know, you know, experience, my experience, other people's experience. I definitely get the rush from, you know, that point of creation where you just get the idea sparks in you, and you don't know where the idea came from. Yeah, you don't know where the idea came from, and then being able to take that idea and deliver it and produce something tangible, something that can stay, you know,
and something that never existed before, and now it exists.
100%.
Like you've just birthed something into this reality that's like one of a kind.
Exactly.
I love that.
100%. You understand too, sis, because you do the same thing, you know. And it's just,
and you know what? Like, this is why I love talking to you, because I have gone the last 5 years now without really making anything. I've only recorded 2 songs with a friend, and but I had to sort of take a bit of a break for health reasons. But I just noticed how much it's like a part of me. It's like you're saying, it's like a sole purpose. It's a calling, and you can't ignore it. And I tried to for a long time, 100%. And I also told myself, oh, I'll do this and this and this, and then I'll get to music later in life, or I'll do this and then I can do music. And that just doesn't work for me. Like, it needs to be a part of my everyday, because it's literally breathing life into me every single day. So I love that you've stuck to it.
You know, everything that you give to it, it gives back tenfold, you know. And it doesn't always have to be through recognition. It's not through recognition. It's just through being able to release that into the world, you know, and release that part of yourself that exists, you know. So and I think that definitely is the thing that brings me back to longevity, you know. It brings me back to just remaining doing this, because I'm just like, yeah, okay, I felt something, and then I let it go.
And you're doing it for you.
And I felt something else, and I let it go, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But I love that it's not about, you know, how many views or this or that. Like, views are fickle, right? That's not really a proper metric of anyone's success. But doing music for you, like, it's such a sacred thing. If you're doing it for the views, and I know I fell into this trap a few years ago when I started to get into it more. I was sort of starting to think, when I would make a song, I'd be like, well, what does the audience want to hear at this point in time? And that was such a wrong way to go about it. I wasn't doing what I wanted to create. I wasn't letting it just be pure and flow through me. I was almost trying to monetize it, really, going, well, what's going to be a hit? And then that just ultimately leads to dissatisfaction, because you're not making something that you want. It's never going to reach what you want it to reach, because it's not been pure. And it sort of made me fall out of love with music for a little bit. But I recognized that finally after a big breakaway, and I went, no, I'm making it for me now. And if it resonates with anyone, that's fantastic. But this is literally my soul food. Like, I need this every day.
100%, man. And I think, you know what, I think you have to go through that. That's part of the discovery, you know, of who you want to be as an artist and what you want to deliver, is going through the idea of like, okay, I'm gonna make it to get this many views, and I want to make something, you know. And then when you have to go through that to realize that's not what it's about.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, it's nice to have that realization, because it just takes the pressure off creating. When you have that realization, you birth like this new sense of yourself, and you start creating the greatest art you ever created, you know.
It's so true. I love that. So when it comes to you and your like mindset, are you like a goal-oriented person? You have certain projects and goals and targets that you're trying to meet, and you're always moving towards them? Or are you more like take every day as it comes sort of thing? Or a bit of both?
Yeah, I think a bit of both. But, you know, I don't really set big goals for myself with this, you know. I just really, it's just what I do, you know, like with this music thing. It's just what I do, and and I know like with consistency you achieve, and that's kind of my motto, is like all I care about is consistency. If I can consistently do something, then I'll feel accomplished in myself for having been able to consistently do it.
Yeah.
And also I feel like that's when other people see, the accomplishment of you, because you've consistently been able to do something. And for me, that's all I focus on, is consistency. I just want to be consistent at, being true to myself.
Yeah.
And being true to myself is definitely doing music, and doing this as a career and doing it full time. That's definitely a part of being true to myself that, I value.
So did you ever have like a 9 to 5, or have you just always been in the music industry like full time? Because it's such an accomplishment in itself, being able to support yourself off music, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. It's not easy, but it's. I think the thing that we always focus on in our home is showing our kids that it's not easy, but it's possible. It's very possible to do the thing you love for your entire life, And I did have a 9 to 5 when I came out of school, because when you come out of school, you're like, okay, your parents tell you gotta get a job,
Yep.
So,
fall into the system so quickly.
I had
It's like,
I had a few like 9 to 5 jobs, but they never ever lasted. Like, I was there, I just never felt like this is where I belong.
yeah.
And when you're somewhere, when you're somewhere where you feel like you don't belong, it just doesn't sit well with you. As for as long as you try to stay there, there's just always something inside you that just telling you, nah, you don't belong here.
Yeah.
So I think with a lot of my 9 to 5 jobs, it's just the environment. Just I worked for a superannuation company in North
man, I
Sydney,
can't imagine that.
Like, man, I can't either. That was a whole different me. But I just couldn't, man. I think I stayed there, and then one day I just was like, nah, I'm just not going back. I just never came. I just never went in.
Just can't force your body to move back in that direction.
Yeah, man. I think I was there for like 3 months or something, and I was like, nah, I'm tapping out, because I think it was the day before I just had got in the lift after being like in a team of people and like trying to achieve a goal. Whatever the goal was, I can't remember what it was. I never used to pay attention.
Yeah.
But trying to achieve a goal together and act like we're a team. And then at the end of the day, we all used to walk to the lift and get in the lift, and everyone just doesn't look at each other. No one says a word to each other. It's like we don't even exist in this space together. And that just didn't resonate well with me. And I think that's when I was like, I'm not about this, man. Like, I'm about human connection, and the thing with music is that it brings us together. It's the universal language. We can connect with people from all over the world through music. And I think that's what I long for, is that kind of connection. So to be in an environment that it seemed like it was a fake,
Yes, I definitely
a fake
feel
vibe. I was like, nah, I wasn't feeling the vibes.
Not feeling this. This is literally why I started this podcast, because I used to, when I came out of school, I worked in the government for 7 years, because like you, I sort of was told this is the safe thing to do, and I didn't really know much better. And growing up in Canberra, it's not, at that time, it wasn't a huge artistic scene. It wasn't a very creative, safe space. It was kind of like work in the government, work in a corporate job, or don't be here sort of thing, or like go somewhere else. And and exactly like you're saying with that elevator experience, that's what I felt every single day. It felt like zombies. Like everyone was just so miserable. And I just started, because I was there for so long, I started to believe that that's what life was about. And I was like, I am positive there's more to life than this. I swear there are people somewhere, somehow doing things that they love for a living. And that's why 100%. One day I just cracked and I went, I'm going to film school. And then that's when everything changed for me. Because I was like, I just can't do this anymore. Like, I want to do something fun. And everything has been amazing since then. It's like, okay. And I forget that people still work in jobs like that. But that's why I created this podcast, because I want to bring people like yourself on to go, I've been there. But look at what you can do if you trust yourself and if you back yourself and follow passion. Like, follow that passion, people.
And I feel, you know what, I feel like it's fine, man. Like to work in that environment. Some people are made to work in that environment. But when you're a creative and you're creative at heart, you know, that environment is just
It's toxic.
it's a tough place to be. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying this episode so far and getting a lot of value out of it. I'd love to ask you to take just a couple of seconds to rate and subscribe to this channel. Once you do that, take a screenshot, let me see that subscribe button hit and the rating, DM that to me on Instagram at Trujectory, one word, and I have a gift for you. I'm going to send you a link that's going to lead you to some digital artwork. These are pieces that are all original photography. I've gone out in nature and taken some beautiful shots. I've got some quotes over the top. I've got some affirmations. And these are pieces that you can blow up to any size that you wish and hang them around your home or your office. And they're going to keep you in a positive mental headspace at all times. Whenever you look at them, they're really calming, beautiful pieces. So thank you so much in advance for rating and subscribing. I really appreciate your support. It's going to help us get these messages out to a larger audience. And I want this space to be somewhere that you can come every single week to be supported, to be motivated, to be inspired, to be reminded that you can create the life that you choose. And all of the beautiful guests that I have on every week are examples of just that. So thank you in advance. I've got so much love for you. Stay true, and I'll see you soon. So do you, now that you are living this fun, amazing life where you're following your passions, if you do still have a low day, you know, whether it's a mood or a physically low or whatever it is, how do you sort of kick yourself into gear if you need to perform? Like, do you have any sort of rituals that you sort of like, here's my, I'm going to amplify mic session and this is what I do?
Yeah, definitely the breath work, man. Like, honestly, definitely the breath work and meditation and exercise, you know, just getting out and just going and connecting with nature before I have to do the thing. Nice. You know, reconnecting with nature, opening my eyes to just see the beauty of the world and you know, see myself as a part of it, and you know, getting the frame of mind to exist with it. You know, that's really what gets me out of the low feeling, you know, is just getting outside, man, you know, connecting with the earth and you know, vibrating with the universe, you know, so that which is greater than me, you know. I watched something online the other day, and it was like a video of showing like how big the universe actually is, you know. And when you see that, yeah, you know, when you see that, it just makes all your problems seem so minuscule,
so
you know.
Small. Yeah,
so small, you know. And remembering that, that's why I like to go outside. If I'm feeling low, I gotta go outside and just open my eyes, you know, not look down at the floor. I need to look up. I need to I love to like recognize the people that are walking past me and just smile at them, or you know, like exist with the flow of everything. Because once you can get in the flow, and once you can feel like, okay, I'm existing with the flow of everything, it makes all that lowness a bit higher.
Well, this is, what you're saying is so, like, it's so poignant, because we only suffer when we think we're separate. We think we're
100%.
outside of everything. We forget that we are all one thing. We've all come from the same source energy. We've all come from the same God, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And when you, like you're saying, that's such a fantastic practice to go, if I'm feeling a bit disconnected, I'm going to go and reconnect and understand that I'm a part of this whole huge thing. I'm not the center of the universe, which can be very stressful when people think they're the center of the universe and their problems are the worst thing in the world. And you're just like reconnecting with the all that you are. Like, that's so beautiful. And I love sharing smiles with people. That's one of my favorite things to do, especially in Canberra, because a lot of people don't seem to smile here. So when I go for walks, I'm always walking past people and I'm just smiling and I'm looking at the trees. I'm looking at the sun streaming through the trees. And I'm like so elated and happy, and I smile at them. And I, you know, it either goes one way or another. But even if they don't smile back, I know that they might smile at the next person, because they, you know, have seen that some people do still smile around here. It's nice.
100%, man. And the more that we do it, the more like it can become normalized in the world for people to do that. You know, but there's some of us, and I'd say it's a lot of us creatives that are highly chosen to bring that energy, that type of energy into the world, you know, and not be scared to, because I think that kind of energy comes from genius, like a genius mind, you know. And a lot of geniuses are you know, they're badgered for having that genius mind. A lot of them are looked down upon, like, nah, until, you know, they create impact and they create change,
Yep.
you know. But it takes consistency. Again, it takes the consistency to be able to make that impact and make that change. And consistency comes from being able to, you know, keep showing up even when people are not receiving you well, you know. But keep showing up, and, you know, keep doing the thing. Keep smiling at people. One day they'll get it, you know.
It's
Yeah,
a
or when
superpower.
you're gone, they'll be missing that person that used to smile at them every day, you know.
Exactly.
And that's when they might have that light bulb moment for themselves, you know. But it is making an impact. Small things make impact, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. And we don't know what that impact is. We might never know, but we don't need to know. That's the thing. Like, if you're smiling at someone to receive, and I caught myself doing this a few times as well, where I would smile and someone wouldn't smile back, and I'd be like, well, huh. And it's like, wait. That's not why I'm smiling. Like, let's bring it back a second. That was my ego just stepped in and took over the show for a second.
Yeah.
Like, that person might have really needed to see that. They might have just had the worst day. They might have no one in their world that smiles. They might have forgotten that, you know, they might be working in an office place that they really don't like, where no one's talking to them in the elevators, you know? Like,
100%.
So, yeah, just spreading light.
Man.
That's all we're doing.
And most people are really walking around trying to look like they have it together. That's the thing too. Is like, most people are just walking the streets trying to show the next person that they have their lives together, you know.
Yeah.
So that little smile for someone that's acting like they have it together it means a lot, because some people that are walking around acting like they have nothing at all.
Yeah.
You know. So and we live in a world that is, you know, we've got social media now. Everyone's trying to compete with each other. It's you know,
it's
simple,
so crazy. I was
simple
just
things,
thinking,
man.
It really is. It's the simple, beautiful things. And I'm sure you've probably even seen some of those, you know, videos on Instagram where it's a simple, like, it's a waterfall with a beautiful quote, but it's something simple and pure and real.
Yeah.
And it just, like, touches you in a certain way. But I mean, isn't it
100%.
crazy to think that 15 years ago, this whole social media thing wasn't a thing? You know what I mean?
Didn't
Like,
exist,
I think Instagram started 20 years ago, but it didn't really kick in until about like 15, 12 years ago,
Yeah.
whatever. And like both of us, we grew up without this. Like, we remember
it's
what life
crazy.
was like before this was the main thing. And I think it's important for us to maintain some of that, and not, like, I don't know about you, but I have certain rules around first 3 hours of the day, last 3 hours of the day, no social media for me. Sundays, no social media at all. And I think that's just so important, because otherwise we
and
just
that
get
takes
so lost.
discipline, man. Damn, you know, that
Yeah.
takes discipline to be able to do that.
It shows you how many times you reach for your phone. Because you go,
it's
oh, no,
crazy.
I'm not supposed to do this now. Oh, shit. Like, I'm literally living on my phone. And then your screen time comes up and goes, you've been on for 4 hours today. It's like,
Damn, it's crazy.
That's crazy. Anyway, oh my gosh. So I would love to tap into a little bit about, like, you're a successful artist, you're a husband, and you're a father of 3 very talented, vivacious kids. So, to say the least. So what is your advice to artists who have maybe recently had kids and are starting to go through that story of, well, I can't do my art anymore because I have kids? What would you say to them?
Yeah. Man, I definitely, you know, I think finding the inspiration through your story, firstly, so, you know, inspiring your kids by continuing to be yourself is everything, especially in our home. You know, we've never shied away from continuing to do our art, even with having kids, you know, even with the pressures of life, even with the pressures of people telling you, like, okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to get a job? Are you going to, like, you going to buy a house? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? You know, even with all that pressure coming in, I think myself, my partner Tiana, it's been a beautiful relationship to be able to support each other and have each other to support each other to continue to do what we love. And I think we've always maintained that, no, we want to show our kids, we're going to have our kids, we're going to take care of our responsibility, but we want to show our kids that you can have what we have and continue to do what you love, you know. And it takes, in order to do that, it takes commitment, you know, it takes work. working on your craft, becoming great at your craft. You know, the consistency in doing it. You know, and yeah, I think if I was to give advice to new parents that are artists that want to continue to do it, I'd say continue to do it to inspire your kids to do what they love.
Yes.
You know, because it's very possible. It's possible. It just comes down to how no, I'm not gonna say seriously, because I'm not a serious person. You know,
I think that can ruin it sometimes. Why so serious?
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not taking it so serious. It's a journey, man. You know, it's a journey, and if you choose this journey, then you gotta, you know, respect that it's gonna be a fun ride. You know, and really take the ride, man. Take the ride. Like, bet on yourself.
Right. That's the thing. We're so often trying to like get to the next step, or what's this going to turn into, or what's the result, and it's like you're missing the ride. And I know I have 100%. Done that personally quite a few times.
That's exactly. I think that's the sad thing. I guess we're always, you know, like searching for the destination, but the ride is the destination, because you know that's the part that's enjoyable. That's where you learn. You know, that's where you evolve. That's where you become great. You know, and every little small step and every turn gets you to that final destination.
Yeah.
You know, and what is the final destination? That's what I'm still trying to figure out. What
that's
that is.
It's just like, it's like this fantasy that we all have built in our minds. We get to the place, we get there, and then instantly, what are we doing? We're going, well, where am I going
something
now?
else,
like
you know?
Yeah, we're continually moving forward. That's our nature. So I love the idea of just, being less serious. I mean, look at how much you've smiled throughout this whole interview. I don't think you've stopped smiling. Like, it's fantastic to see. I know, but I love that. Like, some people could say, well, I've got 3 kids and, you know, I'm busy and I'm trying to follow my dreams and it's stressful. And it's like, well, it doesn't have to be. It can be if you've got a certain mindset, but you can enjoy it as well. Like, it just depends on how you look at it, really, and your choices that you make.
100%, man. And I think, like, you know, like, the world puts a lot of value on the material possessions and having material things, and you know, it's great to have nice things and want, you know, material, and you know, I take my hat off to people that achieve it. But it should never be the thing that you're striving for, you know, because I think I know a lot of people that have material possessions that are just unhappy internally.
Yeah.
And when you're unhappy eternally and you have that, you know, you have you're unbalanced.
Yes.
On the internal, then you cannot enjoy all the material things that you have. You just don't enjoy it the way it's supposed to be enjoyed.
That's the thing. It's
man.
Like, I feel like money it's an amplifier, right? So if you're not in a good state with you, if you're not tight with you, money is going to amplify that disconnection that you have. But if you really 100%. Work on just being your best friend and understanding what you like and doing things for the purity of the art that's coming through and having patience and being solid with yourself, then if the, you know, abundance comes with that, then it's going to amplify that strength that you have, and you're going to be able to 100%. Have fun and enjoy it all because you've got the foundation sorted.
100%, man. I totally, I'm with that. I mean, that's the way I like to live life. I'm not a serious dude. I don't take things too serious. You know, I strive, but I don't strive for material world. I just strive for things that I feel on the inside, which is happiness, joy. You know, I want my kids to feel peace. Yes. You know, peace in life. Yeah, man. These are the things that they make life better, to be honest.
Right? That's the thing. But what are we like seeking all of these things for, right? People are seeking money, houses, certain jobs, certain things for the hope that will bring them joy. So why not just work on joy right now? Why not work on finding 100%. Joy in every single moment, which is so possible. Like you were saying before,
100%.
Go outside, connect with nature. I get high.
It's free, man. You know
when
what I mean?
Go
it's
for
free.
walks. Like, seriously, I'm like high on nature going, look, the other day it was like, this is how crazy I am. I love it. I went for a walk and the sun was shining at this certain angle and I looked up and it was coming towards the tops of these beautiful gum trees, and there were
Yeah.
all these little bugs. Like imagine like 5 billion little tiny bugs that usually would be like
Yeah.
annoying if they were in your face, but they were
Yeah.
flying up at the top of this tree, and the sun was lighting them from the back, so they just looked like sparkles. And then these
Damn.
spider webs started floating through the air out of nowhere. I don't even know where they came from, these
Damn.
rainbow spider webs. And I was just in awe. I was staring at it for probably like half an hour. I had to hold my head
Wow.
because it was leaning back for so long. And I'm like, I'm sure I look crazy to everyone, but like this is how connected you can be with nature, and it can literally
100.
fulfill you. Like I was so happy.
Man, 100%, man, 100%, and that's what it's about. I think that's what most people would have missed out on seeing.
Yeah.
You know, is that just the beauty that is placed before us and for us. You know, so I think just stop. If people could just slow down,
Slow down. That's the thing.
slow down
So
and
true.
open your eyes, look up, man. You know, look up into the world and just see what we've been gifted with and how we can resonate with it.
Yeah.
You know, I think life would feel
Pretty
way it's
beautiful,
supposed to.
this life thing. So, random question for you. If you could collab with any artist in the world, who would it be and why?
Damn, that's a big question.
I know, right?
Any artist in the
There's
world.
probably like 50 you'd love to collab with.
Damn, man. At the moment, like I'm really vibing Lucky Day.
Yep, see,
I don't know if you know Lucky Day.
Touch.
I'll send you some stuff after, you know.
Yes,
I'll send
do
you my
it.
Spotify playlist.
Yes, please.
But yeah, man. I think he's probably the most relevant like soul R&B artist. You know, and I think I don't know, we kind of like live in a real hip hop influenced world now.
And the hip hop's
And
going
when-
a bit like candy, bubblegum, I don't know the word, tacky also.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just there's something hip hop that needs to just bring it back to the conscious state, because I feel like it's a bit unconscious at the moment.
Yes, that's
You
the
know,
word.
and-
Good word.
Yeah, you know, I feel like hip hop is definitely it. When hip hop started, it was conscious. You know, it was a voice. Yeah, very deep. It was a voice that was just speaking for, you know, the times.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, let's just get back to the conscious hip hop, you know, or let's come back to the soul R&B music and speak about love and relationships and I think, you know, that's where I find my lane, and that's where I like to sit, is in the soul R&B lane. So when collaborating with the artist, I think Lucky Day, yeah, he would be amazing to collaborate as far as a new artist. But if we would talk about an old school artist, I don't know, maybe like if we could bring Marvin Gaye back, I would love to collaborate with Marvin Gaye.
You too, that would be incredible. I love that. All right, we'll figure out how to get him back somehow. We'll get him to channel through you. You can just channel him.
I don't know, the AI is like, it's doing its thing, eh?
Oh, honestly. It's crazy, hey?
Crazy.
All right, so I've got one question for you before the final three. We always have the final three questions that I ask everyone. So if you could add 2 things to the school curriculum, what would they be?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think what do you wish that kids were able to learn earlier on in life?
I think definitely everything that's about the system.
I love
you know, yeah, I mean, I think school is very systematic. And if something could come into the school curriculum that could show a way outside of the system.
Yes.
You know, so that kids could have a choice. Like, do I want to be in the system, or do I want to try and create my life outside of the system?
Yep.
You know, I think if they added something like that into the school's curriculum, that would be amazing, because it would, you know, it would give choice. It would allow students and children to make a choice for their life. You know, while being in school, while being taught these things, while figuring out who they are. You know, I think if they're given a choice, rather than saying like, this is the way to go, or this is how you have to do it,
Yeah.
they could say you could do it like this, or you could do it like this. You could go with the system, or you could create your own system.
Yep.
You know, these are what it, you know, this is what it entails. Now you can make a choice for your life, you know. But
100%.
I think I would love something like that to be added into curriculum. And then also, you know, just I guess teaching kids more of the internal work.
Beautiful.
You know, so I know that some schools and some teachers are about it, and they implement it into school, like as far as the breath work and the meditation. But I think having breath work as, you know, an integral part of curriculum would be amazing.
Yeah. That would,
you know,
change lives.
It would just change the way schools operate, you know, and just the energy that is in schools, you know. So yeah, I definitely think breathwork in the curriculum should be something to be looked at.
Beautiful. Great answers. Yeah. I love both of those so much. These are the schools we're heading towards. We're just shaping them.
Yeah, hell
podcast interview, I'm getting more insight. I'm going to build a school.
It's the
new
schools
school.
of the champions and the Maxwells. That's it, you know?
Maxwell champion Maxwell. I love that. Okay, so the final 3 questions that I love to ask everyone. The first one is something that we often do is we look at other people and we sort of praise certain elements of them, but I don't know how often we do that for ourselves. A lot of people don't do it at all. So here's the moment where I want you to praise yourself. So I want to know, what are 3 qualities that you really, yes, do it. What are 3 qualities that you really like about yourself, that you're proud of?
3 qualities, damn.
Yeah, 3. We're not going just one, we're going in.
The big 3.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I love that I can smile through most things, you know. Yep. Even in, I mean, like sometimes inappropriately, because, you know, my family tell me I laugh and smile like at inappropriate times. You know, but that's just because I think I take things lightly, you know, and I like to just find the joy in it all, even the good and the bad, even the bad, you know. I like to find like the joy and the lesson in that, you know, because it's just, we're all on a journey, man, and no one has the answers, really. No one has the answers. As much as we as humans can, you know, experiment to try and find the answers, I still haven't found the answer. From all the books that I've read, from everybody that I've spoken to, I still haven't found the answer. So I think being able to like smile through that is definitely like one of the qualities I'm proud of, you know, is smile through the journey, you know.
That's so good.
Yeah, man, and just you know, having time for people. I think I definitely am someone that, even with our busy lives and everything that goes on in our lives, and trying to keep to schedules, if someone needs my time, I really don't shy away from putting everything on hold to give people my time, you know, and my energy, and really be present in that time, not, you know, not be there rushed and not present. Yeah, you know, I love to just take it. Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? Like, it's just being present so that people can feel like you care about them and you care about them in that moment. Yeah. I think that's important to me, and I think that's definitely something a quality that I'm proud of, you know. Beautiful. And one more. I think also one more. I don't know. I think the consistency, man. Like, honestly, being able to stay at it, you know. Yes. Being able to stay at it and not stay on the path. Yep. You know, I think that's something I'm proud of, is, you know, even with being a young dad and growing, you know, older and having kids to take care of, but still sticking to the path and staying on the path. I'm definitely proud of that. Yeah.
Oh, me too. It's so inspiring, honestly. Like, just you doing you is teaching a lot of people how they can be. It's huge.
Thank you.
So I love those 3. They're fantastic. So last 2 questions. What is your definition of living in your purpose? What does that look like to you?
Man, my definition of living in my purpose is definitely, I think, with me, and if you listen to my music, it's it's always coming from love. You know, like coming from a place of love is. I was talking to Tiana today, and we were at a cafe, and like a song was playing. It was, "Close to You," like by the Carpenters. You know the song "Close to You" by the Carpenters. Have you ever heard that song?
I think so. I might be getting it mixed up.
It's
with
a beautiful.
I'll look it up.
Beautiful, beautiful song, man. And I remember I used to like listen to this song when I was young. You know, when I was under 10. I used to love this song.
Yeah.
And listen to it. And I was saying to Tiana, like, man, I think I've always just been connected to romance, you know, and being a man of romance. Because even at that young age, there's just certain songs that resonate with me still now that I remember, that I'm like, man, I don't know, I really connected with the words and just the feeling of the song. And yeah, the romance always brings me back to the feeling of love, you know, and a love between people. And so yeah, I think that feeling of love, man, that's
beautiful.
That's what's important to me.
God is love,
sure.
Right? That's what we are.
It is.
It's like,
you know,
it's the secret ingredient underlying everything. And we try to wrap it up
100%.
in candy and say that it's, you know, a Valentine's Day or it's a this or a that, but it's the life force that is what we are. Like, so that's beautiful.
Is, man.
Being in your purpose is, again, you're just talking about being part of the one, being it. It's like the ineffable,
100%, man. Yeah.
unnameable thing. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anyone who is still stuck in their job, hoping, wishing, you know, maybe they've got a bit of a goal or a dream or something and they really are starting to get that buzz, that fire, that spark, what would you say to them is their first step to do to start stepping towards that?
Stepping towards becoming something.
Stepping into
in
whatever whatever they are wanting. You know, imagine someone in an office job that's like, I actually just want to make shoes, but I don't believe in myself. Like, and I don't know what to do to start. Like, what would you sort of recommend they start with? It could be, obviously there's a lot of things they could do, but just one for now.
I think it's definitely sharing the idea with another.
Nice.
Yeah, I think definitely, you know, finding a creative maybe that is doing the thing and sharing the idea with the creative, because I feel like myself being a creative, when I hear others wanting to do the music thing or wanting to, you know, step out of the world they're in into something else, and you can always tell, you know, people are like striving to step into their passion by the way that they speak about it. You know,
how they get lit up.
And so yeah, man, and when you see that in other people, as being a creative and being someone that's doing it, when you see that in other people, it's so invigorating for you. It's so inspiring for me to see people people expressing that it reminds me of why I do what I do, you know. So I definitely would say, if you are wanting to step into something that you are passionate about or something that's outside of what you're doing, speak to a creative that's doing it. You know, share your idea, you know, and it doesn't mean like you're going to get all the answers, but just share the idea so that you can have common ground with someone that is going to be able to see it and see you in that moment. You know, because you get to share in an energy that is just of a higher vibration together, and that high vibration is the thing that will make you take that step to actually do it.
Yes.
You know?
I
Yeah.
think that is such great advice. It really is. That really is the first step from getting it out of your head, right? That's what you need. You need it to stop living up here. That's what's stressing you out. Like, it just is living all this energy in here. Like, share it with someone. It's not that you're asking them permission or you're like wanting all the answers from them, but just having a space where you can start to express this thing, start to let it out through words and then through ideas and then through collaboration. And that's beautiful. I really love that.
100%, man. And speaking it into existence, man, it starts with the thought, you know, and then the next step to take is either write it down or speak it out into existence, you know. And speaking it out into existence with someone that is on common ground, it's just going to amplify the process. And man, it's gonna bring that process into fruition quicker, you know.
So great. Oh, I love that. Bro, it's been so good to talk to you. And I genuinely feel, I love that one of your qualities is that you give time to people, because you genuinely like have made me feel so, like, I know you're busy, I know you got a lot on, but you don't make it feel that way. Like, you're so chill, you're so relaxed, and you're such a good, amazing, positive energy. So thank you for your time. I do genuinely appreciate it. Can you tell people how to get in touch with you, or how to follow your music? What's the best way that they can seek you out?
Yeah, man. I'm on at mikechampion.ybs on Instagram, if you're on Instagram. And my website is mikechampion.com. I mean, I put up all my releases there. And I got a lot of new stuff coming in. And Mike Champion on Spotify and all other streaming platforms. So you can find me, man. You can just Google Mike Champion. You can find me. You'll either find me or you'll find Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Same, right? Very similar energy.
Now we are, I think. I don't know. Mike Tyson's done a full turnaround, you know?
True, very true.
Yeah,
He's very centered.
He's good vibes now.
Yeah,
man. And I mean, you know, that's the beautiful journey, man. You gotta go through one to get to the other, you know. Mm-hmm. And you know that destination that he reached now, he had to be who he was to become who he is now.
So true. Everything ends up being a teacher. There's no mistakes. It's like they're all just little parts of your journey that you're being chiseled into the person.
Yeah, man. 100%, man. We can't take it too serious. It's so good. So good in the hood.
I love that. I'm going to call this episode "Why So Serious?"
Yeah.
I think it's great. But anyway, I'll let you go, brother. I know you got a lot on, but thank you so much for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you, sister. God bless, man. Love.